Family, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Talking with Tonio. So in today's episode, we're going to discuss how you can use influencers to market your clothing brand in 2021. Now, influencer marketing is nothing new. Brands like Gucci, Nike, Supreme have all been using influencers for years to grow their clothing brands. So in today's episode, I'm just going to give you the best tips and tricks and strategies that I think are working the best right now in 2021. So if you get value out of this video, make sure that you thumbs up the video, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that you think can use it. Now, before you start your influencer marketing campaign, there is some homework that you're gonna wanna do to make sure that you're not wasting your time and your money working with the wrong influencer.
It's not even giving what y'all said it was supposed to give. No, I wasted my money.
Because the worst thing that you could do is send out your hoodies or your clothes or your products to an influencer just for the campaign to not work out, okay? And one of the first homework assignments that I have for you is to really know who your target audience is, okay? And it sounds simple, and I bring it up a lot in videos because I want you guys to really get this point across, okay? Because if you do not know who your target audience is, if you really don't know who is gonna wear your clothing and wear your clothing brand and who you should be marketing to, it's gonna make it 10 times harder to pick the right influencer. So if you don't already have your Google Analytics set up on your Shopify store or WooCommerce or whatever you host your clothing brand on, make sure that you set up Google Analytics. Make sure that you set up your Facebook pixel and all those things to collect data so you know specifically, who your target audience is. Or maybe you're brand new, right? You may not know what customers are buying from you yet, but at least know who you want to target, what age range, what they listen to, like all that stuff does come into play when picking an influencer. So once you figure out exactly who your target audience really is, you're gonna be in a good place to find the right influencer for your clothing brand, okay? So for example, let's just say you are a Christian-based clothing brand. All right, one of the first decisions that you're gonna wanna decide is how large of an influencer you want to work with. And depending on how large the influencer is, there are gonna be some advantages and disadvantages. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna kind of divvy them up because a lot of people have different size ranges. So let's just say a nano influencer is somebody that has 10K followers or less. A micro influencer is somebody that has 10K to 100K. And then a regular influencer or a large influencer is somebody that is 100K to a million, okay? And again, they're all gonna have advantages or disadvantages. So the larger influencer is going to cost more money, but they will be able to garner more reach. There's gonna be more eyeballs on your clothing brand. So a drawback to a large influencer is that everybody that follows them may not be people that are within your target audience. So that is something that you risk working with a large influencer, okay? Now the advantages of working with a smaller influencer is that normally their engagement rates are better. Normally, people that are within their target audience, are exact copies of people that are in your target audience. But some drawbacks as well is that they don't have as much reach. So the return on investment is not as high. But again, you're not gonna spend as much money with a smaller influencer. So there are several drawbacks that you definitely want to think about. Now, the second thing that you want to think about is what social media platform do you want your influencer on? Now, you guys know me, I'm going to be very biased to YouTube, but they are going to have different positives and negatives, okay? And it's all going to go back to your target audience. That's why I said, knowing your target audience is so important, because let's just say your target audience is 15, 16, right? Then maybe TikTok is going to be a better place for your clothing brand and an influencer that you want to work with, okay? If we're gonna say a blanketed statement, right, without knowing any data, I am gonna say YouTube is gonna be one of the best places to find your influencer, because your marketing campaign is going to last longer, right? And so the life cycle of TikTok and Instagram is fairly short, right? On Instagram, a post only lasts for maybe 24 hours if you're lucky. Then your marketing campaign is over. With TikTok, it's a little bit different. Their algorithm does show old TikToks, and if a TikTok gets picked up, it could last for a week or two, but after that, again, your marketing campaign is over. With YouTube, if you reach out to an influencer and they use search-based content and they're creating a search-based video, that marketing video that you paid for, that you work with that influencer on, could last you literally forever as long as people continuously search for that particular video, right? And then I do think video content in general just works the best, so people can see what the garment looks like, right? And it's on the influencer. So I just personally think YouTube is one of the best places to find an influencer because you get more longevity, you get more bang for your buck, but it's also gonna be heavily determined by your data and where your target audience is. But personally, I think, YouTube influencers are the best place to grow your clothing brand with. Now, once you determine, how large of an influencer that you want to work with, then you determine, what social media platform that they're on. The next thing that you want to do is start building a relationship with that influencer. And this is where I see a lot of small businesses start to overthink this process, okay? Literally all you have to do is reach out, okay? Either send an email or send a DM, but please be very knowledgeable. Do your homework on this influencer first before you just reach out to them. Know certain things about them, know certain things about their content, ask questions. So once you guys start to build this relationship and then you guys go into business to figure out, okay, what are their rate cards, what are their demographics, all this other stuff, you're not just shooting in the dark. You kind of already have information on this person, right? You know who they are, you kind of understand their content, you know a little bit on how they tick just based on the content that they post. So it's gonna be easier to build a genuine working relationship, okay? But do not be afraid, okay? But just reach out, send a DM and say, hey, I am X. I have a clothing brand that I think that you would be great for. This is the budget that we're open to working with you with, but this is negotiable based on your rates X, Y, and Z. Right? And if they don't answer the first email, give it some time, send a second one, or maybe they work with an agency. Figure out all this information ahead of time, but reach out. Do not be scared. Do not be nervous because these influencers are just normal people. You just have to figure out, how the best form of communication to reach out to them is. But just do that, but just be normal. Don't be scared. Like, these are normal people. So once you build that working relationship, they create their first post for your campaign. See how well it does. Make sure that you track it. Make sure that, you're getting a positive, return on investment. And so if it is positive, continuously, send that person products. If it's not working out, then, cut that relationship and go back to the drawing board. Go to step one. But that is it for the video. I hope that you got value out of this video because I definitely think influencer marketing is one of the best ways to grow your clothing brand. Let me know down below, have you used influencer marketing for your clothing brand? How has it worked out for you? How has reaching out to influencers worked for you and all that good stuff? I would love to hear it in the comments down below. But until next time, be easy.